What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this one here, we're going to be taking an early look at Beta Ray Bill. So we are still on the APK right now, or the pre-update version of the game. So with that comes the standard disclaimer. This video is brought to you by Netmarble and the Content Creator Club. Everything you see here is still subject to change and is not finalized, so we can still have changes in stats, values, and all of that from now until the live version. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop in now. So you probably noticed right away that my Beta Ray Bill is not fully leveled up or maxed out, and that is just because I cannot get through the epic quest here on the APK because I cannot participate in a danger room battle. We definitely tried, but the server is not set up for that. It keeps crashing every time we match up against another team. So yeah, we kind of got stuck there. But I can still give you my early impressions on Beta Ray Bill and just like maybe his skills and just how I think he's going to perform when we are able to get him to level 60 or even level 70, of course. But yeah, let's go ahead and just hop in here. So for the gears, level 17 is the highest I can get my gears to. I haven't put any Uru on him. For his skills here, he does do all lightning damage, so you can use double lightning damage proc, or you can use a CTP of Judgment or something like that on Beta Ray Bill would be a good option. Let's go over what his skills are. So his tier 2 passive is going to be 20% ignore defense and 30% increase to lightning damage. A little underwhelming there because you got to remember that Beta Ray Bill here is a native tier 2. He's given to you for free at the start of the epic quest, just like Deadpool, Doctor Strange, and then you build him up through the epic quest itself. So yeah, he is native tier 2, and usually you get a little bit better passive from those kind of characters. His first skill here, we have lightning resist that stacks up to minus 60%, ignores immunity, so it does work on world bosses. Second skill is just kind of a standard skill. The third skill, we have damage immunity for 5 seconds, and we have increase damage for 100% for one attack. So just like a mini proc right there on the third skill. So you can just use the third skill if you want to cancel into your next skill or something like that to transfer over that proc. The fourth skill, we have some more lightning resist, but this time it stacks up to minus 100%, which is really nice. It only goes at minus 3% per hit, so you're going to have to actually get quite a few hits. But luckily for him, his fifth skill also has lightning resist down, so you can kind of build it up that way between all three of, or I guess the first skill is the other one that has it, and you're not really using the first skill too much with him. So yeah, you're going to be stacking up between the 4 and 5. You also have a buff on the fourth skill here for all attack, all defense by 40% and crit rate by 40%. So he's not going to be that difficult to cap out on crit rate, which is fantastic. The fifth skill here, like I said, it has the minus 100% for lightning resist, but then also has paralyze for 2 seconds, ignores immunity, and I believe that's at the very end of the skill, kind of like Black Widow with her uniform. It just happens at the very end. And then he also has some all defense down that stacks up to minus 50%. So he has lightning resist down and all defense down, so that'll make him really good, at least for knocking down the world bosses a little bit easier. But I wasn't able to test how effective that's going to be just because, like I said, he's only level 55 here, so he gets pretty strong like reduction in his damage against world bosses because he's not level 60, so that really hurts him. They also dodge a lot of his attacks, which you can of course ignore a little bit with ignore dodge strikers, but you're still missing out on damage because it's still kind of reduced, or they take like reduced damage from his attacks. The passive here, or his 4-star passive, is going to decrease all damage received by 30%, and then he's got kind of like that Deadpool heal where when it gets below 45%, it's on a 150-second cooldown, so basically just one time per match you're going to get a 50% max HP recovery. He does have an awakening skill, which I can't test out, of course, because I can't get him awakened. I can't get him to level 70 to level this up, but it's going to have some more lightning resist down. I'm assuming that's going to stack up to minus 100%. He's got a little more paralysis on there. Hopefully that'll go a little bit higher than 2 seconds, because that'd be nice. And of course that all attack, all defense should end up at what, like 50% or something like that. So that should go up as well. He's probably going to get invincibility when we level this up, because usually you get something like that as well. So there's probably a few more things that are going to be added here, and I'm not really sure who you're going to need for the awakening skill, like what characters you're going to need at tier 2 to be able to get the awakening skill. Usually it has to do with the characters that are in the skill animation. So you might have to do someone like Nova, Groot, and Odin or something like that, which I don't know. That'd be a little annoying because Odin and Nova, well, Nova is going to be the deluxe character, so that's going to be really expensive. And Odin, if you came into the game a little bit later, then you don't have him unlocked just from playing the quests, so you would have to buy him for crystals as well, which will also be annoying. But Odin should be getting a rework, so hopefully Odin will be good again, so you might actually want to get him with the crystal cost. So his leadership here is going to be increased lightning damage for all allies. It should go up to 60%, I'm assuming, once I finish his mastery. So that'll be pretty good. So his self-buffing leadership, and he also does have the leadership tag here as well, so you can use White Fox with him, so you can actually boost him up quite a bit in terms of the support, so that's quite nice. For his isolate set, I have Power of Angry Hulk on him. I don't have any Obelisk or CTP on him right now. I was just kind of testing out his skill rotation and just seeing if he needed guard break immunity or anything like that, because he just has the invincibility on the 5th skill here to kind of get, or to resist getting guard broken, because besides that, on the 3rd skill it was just regular damage immunity, and he does not have super armor, so he can actually get guard broken quite easily outside of using the 5th skill, and it's only for 3 seconds on the 5th skill. And there's a few things I don't really like about that. Is invincibility 1, I was hoping would last a little bit longer, and 2, the 5th skill starts off for that beginning 3 seconds where you have the invincibility as a like non-iframe kind of wind-up skill. So if you hop into the skill rotation or the skill preview here, I can show you. As you can see, he like winds up a little bit. He's not in an iframe, and then he goes into an iframe like right when that 3 seconds wears off. There's the paralyze at the end. So that's not really good against Ebony, because most of the time when I've been fighting Ebony, he just teleports away and my 5th skill gets canceled out. So the one world boss where he's going to be the most effective, he's actually not very good at, just because Ebony teleports and moves around so much that you have 90% of your skills getting canceled out because you don't have enough iframes here on Beta Ray Bill. Because the 3rd skill, the other one you're going to use in rotation, is not an iframe. The 4th skill has a start, and then it ends, and then it goes up again. So he has an iframe at the beginning, no iframe in the middle, and then an iframe at the end. But as soon as he comes out of this iframe here in the middle, Ebony's going to teleport away, and it's going to get canceled again. So it's kind of hard to keep a rotation going. You're pretty much going to need mind control if you're using Beta Ray Bill against Ebony. If you're playing him against Call Obsidian, he does a bit better in keeping his rotation, but again, I can't really see what the damage is actually going to be because I don't have him maxed out, and the damage right now is really low against both Ebony and Call Obsidian. At least for Ebony, he can do damage, but that's mainly because of that lightning resist down, so that's really helping out. But overall, I can't really get a good impression of his kind of damage in World Boss Ultimate. I know he's going to be really good for Ebony if you can get some kind of consistent crowd control going on for Ebony, just locking him down, because if not, you're just going to have your skills canceled way too much, and I don't think the damage is going to be enough to really get through. I was going to try him out with a CTP of Judgment because I do have one here, so I might go ahead and just hop into World Boss at level 55 here and just show you what he can do with a CTP of Judgment. So let's just go ahead and do that. Was there anything else I need to go over here? I already showed you I have his Ignore, Defense, and Skill cooldown pretty close to max, which were the main things I was aiming for. Yeah, so besides that, I guess let's just go ahead and hop in and show you what he can do at level 55 here in World Boss. Alright, so here we are over at Ebony. We have his own leadership we can take advantage of, and then a dual support. We are going to be using White Fox here, just get a little bit of extra damage. We're using all dodge ignore strikers because we need that just so we can land a hit. Since we are under level 60, the boss will dodge basically 80% or 90% of your attacks, so we want to try to get rid of that. Yeah, let's see what kind of damage we can do here with ACTP of Judgment. Basically, what I like to do for his rotation is we just do 3 to get that buff, and then we hop into 4 to start with the lightning resist down, and then you go into the 5th skill. If you're using a damage proc, then you're probably going to open with the 5th skill, just get the proc there to help line you up for the later skills, and then move around from there. And then you're going to do the 3rd skill, the 4th skill, and then you can use the 2nd and 1st skill to kind of fill in the time if you want to. or you can just kite around if you're using a damage proc so you don't proc a little too early, because the 5th skill is on an 8-second cooldown, so you're going to need to time that a little bit better. But as you can see, I'm getting most of my attacks canceled out, which is really messing with my rotation and keeping Beta Ray Bill here safe, just because I'm getting canceled out of my iframe, getting canceled out of the skill before it even finishes, or missing out on the damage, and then I feel like I need to use another skill, so it's messing up my skill rotation. I need to just kind of pause after that and wait the amount of time that I would normally be waiting for the actual skill to animate. You can see, yeah, the damage is okay, and he's actually doing damage at level 55 here, so that's why I think he's going to be really strong in terms of his DPS against Ebony. It's just, as you can see, we need to find a better way to lock him down. That's my only concern here, is just being able to land hits on Ebony. So crowd control would be probably a must here for him, but yeah, besides that, I think his damage is going to be really good. He does have great survivability if you can stick to that rotation because of the invincibility and then the iframe on the 5th skill. That's what kind of hurts his survivability, is if you get the 5th skill canceled, because you kind of rely on that iframe to kind of kill a little bit of time, because between the 3 seconds of invincibility, the rest of the iframe on the 5th skill, and then the 5 seconds of invincibility on the 3rd skill, you're pretty much protected the entire time. But if you get canceled out of that iframe in the 5th skill, then all of a sudden you have that extra like 2 to 3 seconds that you need to fill or run away from, because you're going to be vulnerable to damage without any kind of iframe or protection. So yeah, those are just a few of the downsides I see to his skill rotation or his skills in general. But yeah, that's just my early impressions of Beta Ray Bill here. So let me know what you think of him. Are you excited to get your hands on Beta Ray Bill? Do you think you're going to pass on him? Does he look a little underwhelming to you? Or are you going to wait until we can actually get him maxed out before you make your final decision on if he's going to be a good character or not? So yeah, that's going to be it for this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.